Hello and welcome to Gardening with Ben's award-winning podcast, as voted by Grow Your Own magazine and by my followers and listeners. So if you're new to the podcast, make sure you click that subscribe button to stay up to date with all our podcasts, listen back to all our previous episodes, sit back, grab a brew and let's enjoy today's episode. Hello and welcome to Gardening with Ben. Well, we're back for another episode. It's Friday, it's the weekend, and it's time to get gardening. Well, maybe, depending on the weather. We have been busy these last couple of days down at the allotment. Yesterday I started getting all my plot ready, really. I'm starting to concentrate on now getting it dug over and tidied up, ready for springtime. I am ahead of time. Usually I don't start doing this until the new year, and sometimes I've actually ripped up the whole of my beds, my paths, the lot, and dug it all over and rebuilt them all. But this year I'm going to leave all my beds in place and I'm just going to clear them and tidy them because they're all in the right place. There's no need for me to dig them all up like I've done in the past. Sometimes I've re-pulled them all up to create a different look or to add some extra beds in and stuff like that, whether it's making my paths thinner or changing the layout, but it's all in the right place, to be honest. So I'm going to be leaving it all as it is. It's just a case of clearing it all and digging it all over. So it shouldn't, in theory, take as long to do. But I went down to the plot today to continue what I'd done yesterday. I'd cleared about 4 beds yesterday. I've got about 20 beds altogether to clear. So I was hoping to get it all done while I was off for 4 or 5 days. But I woke up this morning and it was thick and frosty here in Sheffield. The weather was atrocious. Yesterday were cold enough down on the allotment. My feet had gone numb after a couple of hours, but I went down to the plot today and my goodness, I couldn't feel my feet after probably about half an hour of being there. So I didn't even stay that long down at the plot today. But I did manage to do a bit of tidying up, as I'm not a tidy gardener. I really should be, but I am not a tidy gardener whatsoever. I tend to leave pots all over the place and old trays dotted here and there and everywhere. I really do need to make that my New Year's resolution to be a tidy gardener. So if you see me being messy next year, pull me up on it and let me know, because it does look a tip if I'm leaving pots everywhere. So I need to start by being tidy myself. And for those that do follow me on Instagram, you will have noticed I have a bad addiction to buying houseplants. I've been going literally every morning to the 2 letters in the alphabet with "and" in the middle, hardware store, and I've been purchasing houseplants every morning. They seem to have different ones reduced at 50 pence. Now 50 pence for a houseplant is absolutely fantastic. I bought 12 today, 12 houseplants, and I always like to see what the bill should have been, and it should have been £79, and it came to £12 in total. And I've got some fantastic plants. I've got some different varieties of money plants. I've got some cacti, really spiky ones, and they're massive as well. Definitely worth more than 50 pence. They must have been growing them for years. And I bought a small lemon tree that had been reduced from £18 to £3. And the other day I bought like an orange looking tree. Apparently they're edible as well. They've got a couple on it, so maybe we'll eat them, maybe we won't. I don't know if I should take that risk or not. Let me know if you've had any of the fruit off these miniature trees. And yeah, it's starting to look pretty much like a jungle. The only thing I'm thinking about is how do I water them, because the cacti are only in small pots and they like overhang the pots, so it's hard to get water in. And without taking them all out of each of the pots and soaking them in water, it'd take forever. So I'm looking around to see if I can buy like a pipette or something, just to shoot a bit of water in the gap, just to give it a little drink every so often. Right, I don't know about how much you should water houseplants. I really do need to look it up, and like how much you should water cacti. So we need to start looking and seeing how to look after houseplants. It's certainly a new area to me, because I've never grown houseplants. I've always been for growing fruit and vegetables in the garden. So I need to look more about how to look after them, and possibly how to take cuttings from them, because I know from certain ones you can take cuttings like succulents and stuff really easy, and you can get some nice new plants for free. So maybe if you come back in a year's time, my flat will be a jungle. The best thing is, for it will certainly make me feel better in myself, because obviously the oxygen that they give out helps you. So hopefully I'll be having a good night's sleep and being able to relax and enjoy it. Yeah. So what are we up to this weekend? Well, tonight I'm off out on a night out. I've recently joined an app called Meetup. I tend to go out on my own a lot, and sometimes it's nice to have a bit of company. I am a social person. I do talk to people. I struggle a lot at the moment, like I say, keeping in touch with people and stuff like that. But I've joined this app, and it's for single people who want to make new friends and stuff like that, who just want to go out on a night out. So I've joined that, and we're all off out on a meal tonight in Sheffield City Centre, which should be good, and hopefully I'll make some new friends and share my interests with them. It's always good to tell people what I do, and that I'm an award-winning podcaster. Hint, hint. But yeah, they're sometimes quite amazed when I do tell them about what I get up to, and when they say, "Oh, I'll follow you," and they realise how many followers I've got on Facebook, they're like, "Wow!" And yeah, I'm like, "You've got a celebrity in the house." No, I wish, but no, I'm doing that. And then this Sunday, if you're living in Sheffield or the surrounding areas, it's the pollen market. Now, I've been to every single one of these, and I've absolutely enjoyed it. It's an outdoor market for houseplants, so if you're a gardener, it is like heaven, because there's houseplants, there's outdoor plants for the garden, there's vegetable plants, herbs, crafts, you name it, anything to do with gardening, and it is there. So if you live in the area, have a look. It's on 10 Wild 4, and it's based at the old Castle Market area. It's massive, really big outdoor market. So I'll probably be there around 2 o'clock. So if you are in Sheffield, feel free to give me a hello. It's always good to see who follows me. Literally don't follow me around the market. But yeah, it's always good to meet new people. And obviously I'll be wearing my Gardening with Ben jumper, advertising it around the market so that people give me a follow as well. And it's always great to talk to the different stall holders. I was talking to one of them, and they went, "Oh, we follow you," and I'm like, "Really?" Yeah. They were like, "Yeah, we follow everything that you do on your posts and stuff like that," and they've got a stall themselves. And it was amazing just to talk to them and meet people and meet the stall holders, and it's good to get to know them, because a lot of them go back month after month to the fair, so it's good to go back and have a chat with them. They always ask how I'm doing, and I ask how they're doing, and it's great to see what they're growing. And I try to support them as well, by buying some of the plants for my allotment if possible, if it's something that I want. It's always good to support small local businesses, really. I've always got enjoyment out of doing that, because these small companies, it's hard for them to keep going, so it's good to keep up and support local businesses and small independent businesses as well. So that is basically what we're getting up to this weekend. I were hoping to go to the Allotment tomorrow, but I don't think I will do if I'm going out tonight, honestly. It's obviously the last night out before Christmas, so I need to make the most of it and enjoy it. And I possibly could be going on Sunday morning, but we shall see. Hopefully the weather's fine, hopefully it won't be frosty, and hopefully we'll be able to do some digging over and finally get some more work done down there, because you've got to make use of the time when you get it, because like I say, next week, for all you know, it could be snowed in and the weather could be atrocious, so you've got to make the most of it while you can. And if you are listening to this podcast, please do send me a message on Instagram. It's always great to see who's listening, and I get quite a few messages from listeners, and whenever I find out that they're listening, it's always good to reply, and I talk to them and say hello and how have you found my podcast and stuff like that. But it's always great to hear from the listeners. So have a great weekend, everybody. Hope you all enjoy it, make the most of it, and enjoy the Christmas time while we're allowed out and able to enjoy it. So yeah, have a great weekend, and remember, keep smiling, keep gardening, and keep listening to Gardening with Ben podcasts. So thank you for listening to today's episode of Gardening with Ben. We hope that you've enjoyed this episode. Remember to do click that subscribe button to stay up to date with all our podcasts. Feel free to share them on your Instagram stories so that it spreads the word about my podcast and we get lots more listeners. Feel free to check out my social media sites, Facebook and Instagram as well, Gardening with Ben, and also my YouTube channel, to stay up to date with all my handy videos, how-to videos, and sharing my tips and advice. And feel free to check the link as well in the description for my Gardening with Ben t-shirts. Lots of funny gardening design t-shirts in there for you to purchase at great prices too. So thanks again, and as always, remember, keep smiling and keep gardening.